without any doubt, the greatest bodybuilding show on earth.
You don't want to miss this.
Best show in the world.
Well, I'm very excited.
Best Arnold weekend ever.
To your winner, Derek Lunsford.
Let's go.
Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of really interesting bodybuilding updates. We are only a couple of days, 2-3 days out of the Arnold Classic, and it's calm out there. It's calm before the storm. Guys are staying under the radar right now. They're waiting for that moment, for that day to finally reveal their physiques. And right now, we don't have a ton of proper physique updates, but we got a couple of snippets from a couple of guys. And the first thing we got today is something that we haven't seen this entire prep, and it's from our former Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry. Check this out. All right, so the main concern the public has with Brandon Curry and his physique are his legs. And the other thing would be his old age, if you're going to put it that way. And those two things are connected because with age, the first body part that goes away are usually legs. And Brandon's legs were never great. They were always a weak body part for him, really weak body part, not just for him, for his body, but generally. His legs were always pretty small. The guy won the Mr. Olympia with pretty small legs, but even at this point, when his career is not at its all-time highest, his legs are actually holding on for quite a while. Maybe those freaky exercises, I don't know, lunges with a rope are actually working. Whatever it is, it's working. It's working. His body is staying pretty tight, man, to be honest. Now, do I think his legs are downsized? I mean, if you look at his upper body, you might think that his legs are small compared to his upper body, and you would be right. But compared to Brandon from before, I don't think they're any smaller. I don't think so. I think they're actually probably the same size as always. And his conditioning also looks as per usual. He never had deep separation in his quads or his glutes. It's not the body fat issue, and it's not maturity, of course. I think it's just the genetics, and maybe it has something to do with the way he's training, because he never really went heavy. He always just pumped the muscle up with light weight. That's the reason why his legs never got huge, but also the reason why he's maintaining his physique in this, I don't want to say old age, but he's definitely older than all of those guys who are going to fight against him at the Arnold Classic stage. So even at this age, at this point of his career, Brandon is maintaining a solid physique, man. And I might be wrong about his placement at the Arnold Classic. I will not change my prediction, but yeah, this is not going to be the year when Brandon Curry fades. I don't think so. I don't think he's melting just yet. I don't think so based on this physique update, but we'll see how will this look on stage. However, I'm pretty sure it's going to look pretty damn good because, yes, in this video, Brandon looks big enough. His upper body looks huge. The arms, the delts, even the chest and the legs are definitely maintaining their size. His conditioning is spot on. This is going to be another good version of Brandon Curry. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. All right, the next thing we got is something quite interesting, and basically it's Wesley Wissers with some other classic physique guys. For example, right here first with Andrea Mamoli. Now, I was really surprised when I saw this, and no, it wasn't because of the difference in conditioning. If you look at this photo right here, you might think, well, Wesley is way more conditioned because look at the details in his delts. No, wrong. Nobody has details in delts like Wesley. Nobody. Andrea Mamoli is bringing good condition, really good condition. That is not an issue. He might be even more conditioned than Wesley on that stage in other body parts, but like delts, nobody has freaking details in delts like Wesley. The main thing that I was surprised by was actually The size difference. The size difference. I had to leave a comment there and I said, what the hell? He looks like a kid next to you. And that's what I thought. He looks like his freaking son. Right? I had no idea Andre Mamoli was actually this short. Now I'm looking at the videos and the photos and I can see it, but I had no idea, to be honest, guys. Maybe you knew. I had no idea. And I also didn't realize that Wesley is this much bigger, this much taller. And of course, I knew that Wesley was very tall, but to look this much bigger next to this guy who's supposed to challenge him at his show, man, this is crazy. But I don't think that means a lot, unfortunately. I do have an obsession with height. I think height should be a parameter, a criteria, or at least this guy should be divided into two height categories. I don't think a guy who is 5'2" should be able to beat a guy who is 6'2". That should not happen. But the way the judging is, Andre Mamoli can definitely beat Wesley Vissers, even though he looks like a son to him right here in this comparison. These two guys have the same coach. Stefan Kinzel is prepping both Wesley and Andrea, and he's definitely doing a great job with both of them. And as you can see right here, you can get an idea of how tall or how short Andre Mamoli actually is. Next to Stefan Kinzel, he's actually quite a bit shorter. So really, he's a really tiny, small guy. His shape is absolutely phenomenal, but he is tiny. And here we actually can see him next to Mike Sommerfeld as well, and he's even shorter than Mike. Now I'm looking at this photo and I'm thinking, is this backpack here in this place exactly accidentally? Or did Mike place it there so we don't see where his legs finish? So they could be all the way down to where the backpack ends, which makes Mike potentially, I don't know, 6'2". At this point, I'm being a conspiracy theorist, but seriously, guys, do you really think this is an accident, a coincidence? I don't know. And he's not, Andre is not that much shorter than Mike. He is shorter, I would say, maybe 1 inch, which makes Andrea, what, 5'5", right? Because Mike is 5'6" officially. I mean, in 2024, he competed at 5'9". In 2025, he competed at 5'8", but in reality, his actual height is 5'6", as we all know. So that makes Andre Mamoli probably 5'5", which is very short and definitely not ideal for a classic physique competitor, at least in my opinion. But again, if you look at him right here posing with Ramon Dino, man, this looks crazy actually. His physique is very classic. He does have phenomenal shape and structure. I mean, just look at this. He has everything. I don't see any weaknesses. And yes, again, he's shorter, but I think on that stage next to Wesley Vissers, he's gonna look more complete because he's really packed up. Like, all the body parts are pretty much there. Conditioning is also there. The classic lines are actually phenomenal. He is very extremely classic. So I don't know if Wesley can beat this guy if he's actually spot on, 100% well peaked. And it looks like he's gonna be that. I think he's gonna be full and conditioned, and with this size and shape and muscularity, it's gonna be difficult for anybody to beat him, including Mike Sommerfeld even. But we need to see this guy on stage next. Look at it. Look at the waist, man. Tiny waist. Beautiful symmetry. Really good classic lines. Again, the only issue is definitely the height. And again, we don't know what he looks like next to these guys in one call out. I'm pretty sure that Mr. Olympia, he took like 8. So he's not a no-name guy. He's not like a new guy that's coming out of nowhere. The judges know about him. Top 8 at Mr. Olympia is a phenomenal achievement. The back is definitely an issue for Andre Mamoli, so that's the reason why I don't see him beating these two guys. And again, the height, if I was a judge, but the way the judging is today, I don't think that's going to have a big influence. He does look great. And here, actually, we can see a little video of Wesley Vissers with Mike Sommerfeld. That's right. These guys actually posed together, and here they're checking out the conditioning on their abs, and it seems like they are in pretty equal condition. It seems like they are both very, very lean. Mike is obviously a lot shorter, but based on the way Mike looks here, and this could be just due to the flatness, but I am guessing, I'm assuming that he's gonna go with the lower weight. I'm not gonna say his true weight or true height, because that's 5'6", and he's not gonna go for that. No way. But 1 inch below his weight or height, 1 inch below his height, he had that 1 year where he won the Arnold Classic and took second on the Mr. Olympia. So with this smaller version of Mike, I think it's actually going to be pretty fair. I think this is going to be a good battle. Of course, Wesley is going to have the size advantage or the tall man, big man advantage, but Mike is going to probably have a more complete of a physique. I mean, we don't know until we see these guys on stage, but here they are posing together, both looking ready. It's definitely going to be an epic showdown, that's for sure. And here is another competitor who might actually do really well, and that's Menegate. As you can see, he's also bringing good condition, pretty good shape and everything, but based on what I'm seeing, I don't think he's at the Andrea Mamoli level, not yet. And also we got a physique update from Kim Angel, who basically at like 8 weeks out, I said he was already conditioned and he can't change much, and that's what happened. Like, where do you go from that condition? I mean, this is it. Maybe he got a little bit harder and fuller, but conditioning-wise, he looks like this for the last 8 weeks. I'm pretty sure this guy is just preventing his body from growing for the Open, and he's staying in Classic. Yeah, I don't see many changes in the last 8 weeks. He basically maintained very similar conditioning to this for 8 weeks. He probably could have gotten even leaner, especially in the glutes and the hamstrings, but he just maintained the same conditioning for 8 weeks. And maybe if he actually got conditioned later, if he actually delayed his peak, he could have gotten even leaner and looked even fresher. But this is it for now. This guy is also definitely a threat, but this is your top 3 right here. You guys tell me down below what, I mean, not necessarily, maybe something changes, especially under Mamoli, but I think this is the top 3, and Nick's the power things as well. But whatever you guys think, if you think this is actually the top 3, how will these guys place? Tell me down below in the comments. All right, the next thing we got is an unfortunate announcement from Urs Kalecinski. So he posted a story in which he says, "Hey friends, as you know, I have had some unexpected sickness the past 2 weeks." Unexpected sickness for the last 2 weeks. I hope he didn't catch something in Thailand, playing around too much with the ladyboys or something like that. I had to say it. He set me up. I had to say it. So he says, "This threw me behind considerably in my prep. Me and my coach, boss of ARNOLD, decided that it is the best to cancel my prep for now and focus on recovery, because I definitely want to present my best version and show up fully loaded when going on stage. Right now, I just don't feel like that's a possibility in that remaining time frame. Anyway, I'll most likely visit the Pittsburgh and NY Pro show as a guest. Thank you for your understanding." So Urs Kalecinski is not doing the Pittsburgh and the New York. He is pulling out. More chances for Krijo to win those 2 shows or somebody else. But yeah, Urs is not doing it. Maybe he actually decides and jumps in if prep starts going really well and he's conditioned ahead of time. But as of right now, he canceled those plans. He's going to focus on another show. He's not retired. He's not doing a show next year. He's just doing another show this year as well. And even if he didn't get sick, it would make sense to skip those 2 shows because they're probably still too big of a bite for him. Right, he basically just started doing open bodybuilding last year, and to win the 3rd biggest show in the world like Pittsburgh, it's definitely going to be very difficult. So I think this is a good thing, and I'm not saying he did it strategically and that he's lying to us that he got sick. I think he actually had that happen to him, but I agree that he needs to be 100% on if he wants to compete at such a high caliber show. And if he cannot beat that, then it's probably the best idea to just skip that show and do another one. There are so many shows out there, he can choose whichever one and probably win it. Winning the Pittsburgh would be too difficult, New York Pro as well. Maybe next year, but this year, definitely a good idea to skip those 2 shows. He's just sick. That's not the strategy. He's just sick. What is he sick from? You guys tell me. Make your own guess. All right, and the next thing we got is an update from Martin Fitzwater. That's right. Briefly, I did mention some of his physique updates in my prediction video yesterday, but today we got a new one, and it's just him hitting a single front bicep shot. And, you know, his biceps, his arms definitely look good, much better than a couple of years ago. Of course, he shot them up, but if you don't have a trained eye, if you have no idea, if you don't follow bodybuilding too much, you won't realize this. So he's a good artist in that way. He's definitely doing it properly. You can barely notice, but yeah, he didn't have bicep peaks 2 years ago, and now he does. That does not happen overnight because you figure out training. That only happens if you figure out one other thing. But yeah, here he looks really freaking phenomenal. You know, I gotta say, I can't deny this guy. He's bringing it. Now, my prediction, I have him in 5th, and I'll stick with that prediction because I definitely still think it's a possibility. I think the reason why we're not seeing proper full physique updates for Martin is not because he's playing a game, it's because he's behind the schedule. He's hoping that once he's dehydrated and peaked, he's gonna look presentable. And he probably will, but this is gonna be the best Martin we ever saw. Well, it probably won't be that, but it happened before. I remember that one prep when Hunter Labrada was prepping Ben Chow, and they had a really crazy peak week. They had to, I don't know, front load and then deplete to the show, do all kinds of crazy stuff. And that ended up being probably Hunter's best look ever. They never were able to replicate that because it wasn't a formula you can replicate. It was just chaos, but they got something out of it. And the same thing may happen this year with Martin. And I'm not saying that he mistimed his prep or his coach did that. Things change. 1 year you can respond one way, the next year completely differently. That stuff happens. That's why it's important to have a coach who's going to follow you the whole path. Like Sam doesn't have a coach right now. If everything runs smoothly, he's going to look good. But if he runs into trouble, he won't know how to fix the issues. So that's why you need to have a coach, and if you need my guidance, my help to guide you through your own prep or just to get started for the summer. Summer is soon coming, guys, so you better get started right now. And again, if you need a coach who is actually going to pay a lot of attention to you, who's not going to take a whole bunch of money from you, who is very affordable, again, you can DM me or even Bodybuilding Coaching on Instagram. Anyways, once again, Martin Fitzwater right now looks big, looks conditioned. I cannot complain. I cannot lie. This does not look bad. Is he going to be his best ever? I don't see it. I don't think so. I think he's going to be able to pull out something pretty good, but the best look we ever saw from Martin, no. And I don't see him beating any of those 3 guys. And I also have Mofuda potentially beating him at this show. That's my prediction. I'll stick with it, no matter how crazy you guys think it is. But that's it. There you go. If you disagree, you can tell me down below in the comments. And this is gonna do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more bodybuilding coverage like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.